He asked it like it was harmless. The living room smelled like vanilla frosting and baby powder. My sister stood in the center of it all, glowing in that exhausted, victorious way new mothers do. Dad had one arm around her shoulders, the other lifting his glass. To my first grandchild, he said, his voice thick with pride. Applause. Lauder. Phones raised. Then his eyes found me near the kitchen doorway. "And you," he added, lightly smiling, as if we were sharing a private joke. "When's your turn?" The room tilted toward me. Not aggressively, just curious. Expectant. I didn't feel angry. I felt something older than anger. "Say, months ago," I said. My voice came out steady. "You were invited?" He frowned, confused. A few people chuckled, thinking I was teasing him. "My baby shower." I clarified. It was in May. Silence didn't fall dramatically. It spread. Slow. Uneven. Dad blinked like he was searching his memory for a misplaced receipt. "May?" he repeated. "I sent the invitations in March," I said. "Digital and printed." My sister shifted beside him. Her smile tightened almost imperceptibly. "I never got anything," Dad said. "You did," I answered. I didn't raise my voice. "I didn't look at my sister yet," you replied. A few heads turned. My aunt, who misses nothing, stopped mid-sip. I hadn't planned to say it. For months I'd practiced not saying it. But something about the glass in his hand, the public pride, the assumption that I was simply behind in life, it pressed against a bruise I had been pretending wasn't there. I rented a small hall. I continued. 20 chairs. I thought that was realistic. I remembered the hall more clearly than I wanted to. White folding tables, pastel balloons, taped carefully because I couldn't afford a decorator. I had arrived early, hopeful in a way that embarrasses me now. No one came, not Dad, not my sister, not even a courtesy text until later that night. My sister had called 2 days after. Casual. Breezy. She said the invite must have gone to spam. She said things get chaotic. I believed her then. Dad cleared his throat. "Sweetheart, I would never ignore something like that." "I know," I said gently. And I did know. That was the problem. I finally looked at my sister. "You told me you'd remind him." Her jaw flexed. "I did." She said quickly. I thought I did. It was a busy week." Busy week. That phrase had lived in my head for months. I pulled my phone from my purse. Not dramatically, just deliberately. "I didn't want to make this a thing," I said. "But since we're asking questions," I opened the screenshot. Dad's reply to the invitation email. A simple, warm message. Wouldn't miss it. "Proud of you." Below it, forwarded from my sister a day later. "I'll handle it. Don't stress her out right now. She's emotional enough." There was more. A text to me from her the morning of the shower. "Dad's not feeling great. Probably better to reschedule." I had called him that afternoon. He was at work. Perfectly fine. I handed the phone to my aunt because she was already closest. I didn't narrate. I didn't accuse. I let the glass screen speak. She read quietly. Her eyebrows rose in that controlled way that signals disapproval without spectacle. She passed it to Dad. The room wasn't loud anymore. The baby started fussing, sensing the shift adults pretend children don't notice. Dad reads slowly. Once, then again. His glass lowered before he seemed aware he'd done it. "I never saw this follow up," he said, more to himself than to anyone else. My sister stepped forward. "It wasn't like that. I just thought." "You thought what?" My aunt asked, not sharply, just firmly. My sister faltered. "She gets overwhelmed. I didn't want a big scene if people didn't show up." I almost laughed at the irony, but I didn't. "I wasn't asking for big," I said. "I was asking for present." That was the closest I came to accusation. Dad looked at me differently then, not defensively, not dismissively, just unsettled. "You should have told me," he said. I did. I answered. Just not loudly. The baby cried harder. Someone moved to pick him up. Conversations restarted in awkward fragments. The party tried to recover its rhythm, but it felt thinner now, like music played through a cracked speaker. I didn't stay long after that. In the driveway, under the dull orange streetlight, Dad followed me out. The night air was cool. Honest. "I don't play favorites," he said, but it sounded less certain than it ever had before. "I know you don't mean to," I replied. He searched my face for anger, for demand, for something he could fix quickly. I'm sorry I wasn't there, he said. Finally, it wasn't grand. It wasn't tearful. It was late. I stopped expecting you to be, I said, and surprised myself with how calm it felt. That was the truth I'd grown into over 7 months. I had rearranged my expectations the way you rearrange furniture in a small room, not because you love the new layout, but because it's the only way to move freely. I want to do better, he said. I nodded. Then do. No ultimatums, no conditions. Just a door that wasn't locked anymore. When I drove away, I didn't feel victorious. I felt visible. And that was enough.